Hey everybody, welcome in. Thank you so much. Today I'm going to show you the behind the scenes of the creation of a new video. Now I'm not going to be recording this video here today, but I'm just going to go over the planning process, something that's really important obviously. And the more that you can nail the planning portion and the approach that you're going to take with a thing like a YouTube video, obviously this stuff can apply to other forms of content too, but the better that we nail exactly what it is we're doing and why we're doing it, and essentially just getting all the cobwebs out up front, the more likely we are to succeed with this video. Last time we did this, in fact, we did a video that I actually called in the income stream, making my next 100,000 view video. And that video just passed 90,000 views. Now, it's not gonna happen overnight. It did start off slow, but it ramped up, and all the things that we planned ahead of time, like a great hook, a title, and of course a thumbnail. We're not gonna go over the thumbnail today. That might be another day, perhaps next week, as this video is getting close to being published. But yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna have some fun. I don't know exactly where this is gonna go, so we shall see, but I have some things that I have to share with you as far as my approach so that you're not wasting your time. And that's the big thing here that we're gonna save. We're gonna save time. Even though we're putting a little bit more time up front, it makes sure that this content has the best chance to get out there and be shown. YouTube does a lot of work for us when we create videos that actually matter to our audience and are structured in this kind of way. Now, obviously, there's a billion different ways to film a video. This is just my approach, and one approach specifically, especially if you're sharing information. But hey, I'm gonna share it with you. Here you are behind the scenes. Thank you so much for today. Hope you are doing great. Michael, Dr. Severin, Brian, Wendy, Karma, GTO, Beth, Jillian, thank you again for being here. And let's start the show. Here we go.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Flynn.
Cool. Somebody asked if my audio was okay. Is it coming out weird? Let me know if it is. Sometimes we get some issues, but all right. Clementina says, note paper ready. Croatian says, I hear 2 audio feeds. Do you? Check, check, mic check. You might need to replay if that's indeed the case and everybody else is fine. So chat, let me know if you're feeling and hearing everything okay. Angelina, welcome in. Tina, thank you so much. So obviously we want to do something that obviously matters to our audience. And so when you can create a video based on something that you know your audience already wants to know about, that's often much better, right? So there are a lot of places we can go to find out whether or not it may be worth creating a video. Again, there's no guarantee. YouTube is fickle sometimes, and we can create the best video in the world. Hopefully, if we do these strategies, YouTube will pick it up and send it out to more people. It'll impress people. It'll get shared, all those kinds of things. Thank you, chat, for letting me know. So the best place to go is if you already have videos already available, see which ones of those videos are actually speaking to your audience already. And this might seem like cheating because we talked about creating new videos, but in fact, the best videos to create are the ones that have already been proven to work elsewhere, especially to your own audience. YouTube likes to understand what it is that you create that other people like, and they support you when you create more videos like that. So when I create a video about podcasting, when I create a video about passive income, YouTube tends to, even without a ton of hard work, help me out. Now, obviously, if you're just starting out, you don't have this collection or this database already, but if you have that available in some way, shape, or form, definitely use that. You could use your blog to see what's most popular. You can go back to your analytics to see what is working and what's not. Just continue the conversation that has happened already that your audience is already interested in. Again, I cannot stress that enough. There's many other places that you can go. You can check out social media. You can see conversations that are happening elsewhere on forums or what's hot right now. You could do some keyword research as well, and I'll share with you some tools in order to do that in case you're starting from scratch. But answering people's questions is usually typically the thing that you want to start with. And if you have the ability to base this on other resources that you have that prove that this is essentially something that people want to know about, well then great. Now we can structure this video in a way that will be primed perfectly for hopefully YouTube algorithm glory. So where am I getting this video from? Well, I need to share with you something interesting that has happened since creating the income stream. So the income stream, obviously, you know the income stream. This is our show here, right? And what's really cool about doing a daily show is that we do a lot of things about a lot of different topics. Now, I just got to be upfront with this. The daily show has not actually grown the YouTube channel that much. I'm even working with an agency that's helping me grow my YouTube channel. And the first thing that they said when I said I want to double the size of the YouTube channel this year and get to 500,000, they said, okay, well, are you going to continue to do your lives? And I was kind of taken aback by that, but it's proven that the live streams don't actually grow the show. They grow the community. They make people feel great about coming back and having something consistent to work with. And that's a benefit as well. But live streams are very difficult to grow with unless that is something you've become known for, especially when you already have some stuff pre-recorded. That is typically what you're known for. There are some channels out there that I know about that are using lives to grow. The algorithm does push it out, but when you talk about all different kinds of things all the time, the lives can be very not that great for you, but still worth it in my opinion. I'm just so happy that we've gone 312 days. Now I'm going to go into YouTube here to share with you this really cool thing that has been created as a result of doing all these lives. So I'm going to go to live here. Hey, there we are right now. Every one of these videos is now telling me something about whether or not people want to learn more about these things. So look at this video up here, Clubhouse. 4,147 views. Again, that was a live stream as well. On average, we get about 1,000 to 2,000 views, and that includes people who watch live as well as people who watch later, right? 3 Big Mistakes podcasters make 2,500. Ask Me Anything, 1,700. Weekend Reviews with Pat, 1,600. So not very popular. Game Day with Prizes, 1,200. Not very much at all. 5 Ways to Fight Doubt, 3,000. So that's a signal. Without Proof, You're Going to Lose, only 2,000. Instant Attention. First Steps to Take in 2021. Look at this, 4,000. So the topic is definitely something that matters, obviously. And you can see if you have a baseline or a set number of pre-existing videos, which videos are already most popular, right? So here is what we're going to do. I'm going to share with you a topic that I've done a live stream on before, but we're going to structure this live stream that was, again, 1 hour in length, not 55 hours, 55 minutes in length. And we're going to structure it for what I'm hoping to be anywhere between a 7 to 12 minute, very honed in, very strategic, very purposeful. I'm not going to plan every word. The hook in the beginning, I'm definitely going to plan out with you live, but the topic is going to be one that was proven to already be of use to you here on the live stream, and it's gone out there and it's helped more people, right? So the topic is landing a big guest on your show. And that could be your podcast, your YouTube channel, or even your blog. Landing a big guest, how to get a big guest on a show. And this is something that is very relevant to the world of podcasting, which I've become known for in the space of YouTube, and also is relevant for people who are on YouTube as well. And a lot of people are starting podcasts these days, and this is why when I did this on the live stream, it did see some really good numbers. So I want to sort of take the best pieces of that and structure this video in a way, again, how to land a big guest, something that I think a lot of people want to do but don't know how to do, or are afraid to do, or don't believe they can do. And I want to hit them on the head and go, you can do this, and here is how, right? So that's going to be the video. Uncle Bill says, great question. Let's see. How do we know it isn't the difference in thumbnails? Well, there's so many variables, right? How do we know it's not the difference in thumbnails? Well, it's all the things. So I want to use a video that I know is already proven, and I could mimic or use the same type of thumbnail. It's already proven, right? And it's true, but I'm going to use something that I know already works, right? I'm excited for this. Thanks, Squeaks. Yeah, you're welcome. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you a 5-part strategy for how to make this work, right? And it's what I like, actually it's a 6-part strategy, I think. Yeah, 6-part strategy. And it's what I like to call my tiptoe strategy, right? Tiptoe. So you know me, I like acronyms, they're easy to remember, and I'm gonna go into the iPad here so we can do this together, right? So tiptoe, so let's write this out and hopefully I can get the spacing correctly here. T-I-P-T-O-E. Doot. All right, so here is the acronym, and then I'll explain each of them for you. This is a 6-part strategy for essentially just the open of a video. Then with each of them, I'm gonna give you and demonstrate what I feel in real time a good version of this would be for this video, how to land a big guest, right? By the way, big shout out to Squeaks Gaming, by the way. He's here. He has been so helpful for me as I enter the Pokemon space, and it's just so cool that he's here now learning from me. He creates great videos. He has a podcast with Pokemon Radar, and it's great. You should all check it out. Really entertaining as well. So, T. This is the title connection. Title connection. Now, what does that mean? Well, think about this. People are either searching for something, or better yet, they get shown this video of yours on their home page or in their browse window, or maybe a related video in another video that they're watching about maybe the same kind of topic, or it might be just what's next based on what YouTube knows about what you like and what you don't like, etc. So all that people have to work with are the title and the thumbnail. And if the title and thumbnail are good, and honestly, when creating a video, thinking about the thumbnail and the title first is often the best scenario, because then you can create a video to support that. Because if the title and thumbnail aren't doing it, it's kind of all for nothing sometimes. So when you get the title and thumbnail down, which is definitely step one, and of course, we've kind of already gotten the title. It's not specifically honed in yet, but how to get a big guest on your show is going to be essentially the title. And I might have some parentheses or something, brackets afterwards that connect it to podcast and video tips or something like that. But I want you to understand how important it is for when a person clicks on that video to go directly to a connection to, yes, you're in the right spot, right? You want to speak to the person who's there, who's clicking because they just saw that thumbnail and title, know what's in their mindset. You need to address that right away. This is why a lot of live streams don't work, because when a person clicks on that thumbnail and that title, what happens in the beginning of the live stream? Hey guys, welcome in. We're going to wait here for a couple minutes. They don't even tell the person what it's about, right? Which is why when I start my live streams, you saw this happen today. And by the way, today in this video, I'm going to share with you behind the scenes how I actually create and structure a video to have the most views possible. Boom, right there up front, right? That's what we like to call the hook, but I want you to think about this as a connection to the title. Think about any Mr. Beast video, right? You see the thumbnail of him holding a credit card out and a little girl is accepting it. And then the title might say something, or does say something like, I give out my credit card and let people buy whatever, or something like that, right? And then at the beginning of the video, hey, in this video, I give my credit card to random people on the street to see what they might buy with it. And there's some other fun games around that too. So just directly and straight to the point. Tiptoe, title connection, right? So in this video, actually, let me go over all 6 of these things in case you have to leave and you want to watch the replay later. But I'll go over this example with my how to land a big guest, or how to get a big guest on your show video idea, right? Cool. So number 2, in this video, ... So I want you to say something like, in this video, or here you're going to learn something. Now, that could be something that could also connect to the title, but there's many other ways to connect to the title as well. For example, I'm thinking for this video, how to land a big guest, or how to get a big guest on your show, something like, wouldn't it be great if you could have a celebrity on your podcast or YouTube channel? Wouldn't it be amazing if you could interview the top industry leaders, even if you just started? That's a title connection, right? They see how to land a big guest, asking a question. Imagine landing somebody like Elon Musk or Oprah on your podcast. That's a connection. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you X, Y, Z, right? So in this video, I might say something like, I'm going to show you how to get a big guest on your show step by step, so that you can, and then I want to include the benefits. That's the other thing here too. In this video, what plus benefits? Why in the world does a person need to watch this video, right? And they might know this already. They might know these benefits. They might not. But if you share it and you nail it, they're going to stick, right? Cool. So that's number 2 in this video. And again, we'll go more into detail, and I'll actually sample this. I'm going to share these things as if I'm recording the video, get all the cobwebs out so we can nail it when I actually hit record later today. P, proof. Okay, so you're telling me this can happen. How do I know this actually works? Do you actually do this? Because think about it from the other perspective. If you're telling a person something, hey, you need to do this, or hey, or this can actually happen to you, and then they turn around and go, well, have you done this? Or how do I know this is true? How do I know this is real? People often default to doubt online. And when you can share with them that proof, then that can go a very long way, right? So a lot of my best videos are ones where in the very beginning, I just literally show, hey, I use this exact strategy to do X, Y, and Z. So at this portion, again, we're probably within the first 20 seconds of the video at this point still. This is how important the beginning of the video is, right? By the way, chat, let me know if you're enjoying this kind of topic. You like to see the behind the scenes stuff and just kind of get a sense of how my brain works. I want to do a lot more of this before we finish off the income stream on day 365. And don't worry, I'm not going to go away. We'll probably switch to weekly after that, but we are at day 312 now, on our way to 365. And I want to go deep for you. I want to go as helpful as possible before we end the year here. So proof, right? So I'm thinking of literally showing video of me interviewing MKBHD. And then I have a video of me with Gary Vaynerchuk, right? So if you have self-proof, that's great too. But you can also share something like this. Maybe, for example, I didn't do this myself, but I helped other people do it. I helped podcaster so-and-so with these exact strategies land Tony Robbins on his podcast. And I'm going to share with you exactly what we did for him, right? So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, oh, like you actually did this, right? This is actually sales 101. You need to show proof. And when you're writing a sales page or you're writing an email or anything, you kind of need to follow these same strategies, right? A connection to this email subject line, right? Why this email is important to read, proof that this thing is working, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So we're still going here. Proof equals, yes, I want to listen. Exactly, Don, exactly. Phil says, I mean, edited would be better. True, this is true. But it's live so we can answer questions and you can see it happen and unfold in real time, which does have benefit, right? It's like, oh, well, Pat's not perfect. He makes a lot of mistakes, but he gets through the cobwebs to get to the good stuff, right? All right. Next, we got tease. Here is where we can share some things that are coming up without revealing them fully, right? So, for example, I might share something like, I'll be going over everything from how to get a person's attention, the exact messages you should be using, and how to do it all without being annoying, right? Because that's a big objection, which takes us to number 5, which is objection. I want to lay those things out. But first, let's talk about the tease, right? This is where you can say, let's say I'm doing a video about the Facebook ad platform and its changes in 2021, which would be a great video because it's the early part of 2021. A lot of people do Facebook ads. They might not know about all these things, right? So I might say in a video during the tease part, you know, I'm going to give you 5 specific things and make sure to stick around to the end because the last tip I have to share with you will cut all the time that you need to run your Facebook ads in half. So I basically teased something and a reason such that a person listening to that would go, whoa, it would be crazy for me not to listen all the way through because I want that, right? Because I want that. Karma says, shoot, was on a client call and missed 7 minutes. It's all good. Your clients are important, obviously, and I'll go over each of these things one by one with more detail and example, so you didn't really miss anything. We're just kind of covering this right here too. Okay, E, explained. Now we get into, this is like when the video actually starts. Not the actual video, but like the meat of the content, right? That actually starts there. So look at all these 5 things that happen before the explanation, right? That's a lot, but it can happen really quickly and it does take time and you need to, I would recommend scripting the first part of your video out because this is the thing that keeps people watching all the way through. And I just want to talk about how important that is because if you can hook a person in the beginning, YouTube uses watch time, retention, as well as how many people go from one video to the next. How many videos per session is really important. And I'm very, very grateful that on my existing channel, at my Pokemon YouTube channel, Deep Pocket Monster, we're getting 1.7 videos per visit. That doesn't happen on this channel because on this channel, people find the one tutorial they need and that's all they need. Or they find the answer to their question about how to plug in 2 microphones into a computer and then nothing else really matters. They got their answer. But the more videos that you can, and that doesn't mean that that's impossible for me to do. I need to do a better job and plug in new videos on end cards or end screens and cards so that people can go from that video to the next video. Cool, now that you have your microphones, how might you best conduct an interview, right? And this video here, how to land a great guest, would be a perfect follow-up to that video to hopefully get more people to watch more things. The team seems to be the heart of the hook. It's all a hook, right? In this video, the benefits, that's a hook too. The proof, that's a hook. Oh, this is the person I need to follow versus leaving and finding somebody else everywhere. Finding someone else elsewhere, right? So the objections. Let's talk about the objections. The objections are important because unless they are open to what it is that you're about to share with them, they might leave or not believe anything you have to say, right? Many of you have heard about my Oreo strategy when I'm selling something, when I am conducting a webinar. Oreo is essentially an acronym. I love acronyms, and I was afraid of using an acronym in an acronym, and then thankfully there's no acronym inside of the acronym of Oreo, but Oreo is an acronym that stands for objection, rebuttal, example, outcome. We're not sharing all those things here, right? The whole video is that essentially. But the objection is important because when you nail the objection, a person goes, wow, you know exactly what I'm thinking. You must know the answer. If you can describe the problem better than your target customer, they're going to automatically assume you have the solution. That was a Jay Abraham quote. And the same thing goes here. If you can get into the person's head in this video and understand what might hold them back or what is a big challenge of theirs, well, then you can address that and move forward, right? So for this one, for example, I might say something like, now you might think that you don't have enough clout, or you're not popular enough, or you don't have enough views to land a guest. But I'm here to tell you that it doesn't matter if that's the case, because there are ways to get in front of celebrities and other big names in your industry, even without a large following. So you see how I took an objection and I just said, you see what I mean? Okay, I have a small audience, but you're telling me that that's not something that is holding me back entirely. Okay, cool. I'm still open to listening to this, right? So another objection for landing a guest, even if you don't necessarily feel you are a great interviewer, I'll give you some approaches that you can take to have this episode be better than all the other episodes where this guest is on too, right? So again, we'll go into details about this specific thing, but I just wanted to give you this structure. Again, title connection. The first part of the video, we want to make sure that people who click on the thumbnail and title know that they're in the right spot and that, you know, you're speaking directly to them right away. In this video, you just want to be very clear, like what is going to be in this video and what's going to come out of it. What's the benefit of sticking around? Proof. Okay. You caught my attention, but like you got to keep it. And you can tell me why you're the one I need to follow, or that you specifically like, this is going to be worth my time. Give me that proof. The T's, share fun little tidbits with me up front about what I'm about to learn that I'm just going to make sure I stick around to listen, because I would be crazy to leave if that's the case. Objections, so we can crush those people who think, that sounds bad. So we can crush over those people who think that they're going to think themselves out of this even being possible. And then E, now we get into the video, right? So tiptoe, right? Thank you for the thumbs ups, by the way. That was really helpful. Hey, Pat, if it's an online cooking show with the host cooking, how would the tiptoe strategy work? Right? So if it's an online cooking show, let's give me a dish. Somebody give me a dish. I'm going to think about connecting that dish to the person who just clicked to watch this, and I'm going to give them some. Actually, let's do that. Let's make it fun. So I'm going to wait for because I don't actually. Would I be able to get? No, I don't have access to this right now. So the chat here in Ecamm is a little bit delayed, so it's not as quick, but it'll come in just a minute. So I just want to get a sample dish, crowdsource one from the audience, and then we'll go from there, right? And then I will start scripting this out, right? Grandma Goody, oh no, I hope your son's okay. Wishing you all the best. Okay, so Kyle says lasagna, cool. So maybe it's how to cook lasagna for your entire family in less than an hour, right? That's the title, right? So let's go through the tiptoe strategy with a cooking show about how to cook lasagna, right? So first of all, there's a big draw here, the fact that it can be done for the entire family and the fact that it can be done in under an hour, right? the other thing, I'm thinking about objections already. I might not have all the right ingredients, so you're going to share all that. Again, I'm just kind of unweaving the ball of yarn here, and then we'll go into it. Actually, let's just start. So title connection. Person watches the video. They click because they want to learn how to make lasagna in less than an hour, right? So we can just kind of get right to it, right? Or actually connect, right? So let's connect. Lasagna, I'm just thinking about different lasagna. So I would have some visuals of lasagna right away, number one. So you want to have like visuals of the thing that people want. So I would have a shot right in the beginning of an oven opening and lasagna coming out, and then maybe a clock that's like at 45 minutes, right? Because again, I'm connecting the title and the fact that we're doing this in under an hour with the very first part of the video. So I might not even need to say anything during this time. I'm just showing the result. Lasagna coming out, steam arising, and then maybe an audio file that goes, ooh, right? Something like that. And that will then help me. Like with food, you have a benefit of having something so visual that actually is a part of a person's sense. And that in and of itself could hook a person, right? So that could be the title connection, actually could be a visual thing. And then I can say, and come in right after that and say, in this video, I'm going to show you how to cook an easy lasagna recipe for your entire family of maybe even up to 6 in less than an hour. This is one of my favorite recipes because when I'm busy and I'm on the go, again, this is actually what I would do is go into a very specific example. You know, I actually cooked this for my family the other day because I was so busy. I just came home from work and I only had an hour to cook up something. And it was really great because it fed the whole family and it was really easy to do. So just even a little story, again, proof. I did this myself. And with cooking, again, you're in your own kitchen, you're pulling it out of the oven. You don't have to work so hard to share the proof. It's like, oh, here it is, right? But sharing just a quick story to provide context so that other people who are also busy, again, the big thing here being about the fact that it can be done in under an hour, right? And that's, again, a huge thing when it comes to cooking. This is why frozen dinners that can cook in under 3 minutes are such a big draw, because a lot of us want to save time. So again, I'm thinking about not just the food I'm cooking, but how this can actually be helpful for people too, right? It could be a plate of lasagna too. If you wanted to connect it and you were more of a family type channel, I would show maybe a quick video just of you and your family eating together, kids smiling, all enjoying, or maybe an overhead shot of you putting lasagna down on the table and the entire family going, yay, right? And you can create those shots later, right? You don't have to nail that up front. That can be B-roll that you can add later for this video. That can add a lot of flavor, if you will, for that. Ha! Okay. So tease. Okay. So the tease part of this, again, we're on tiptoe, talking about a video about how to make lasagna in less than an hour for your entire family. The tease might be, let's see. It might be, you know, and you know, I do something special in my lasagna that the entire family loves. It's actually really simple to do, so it makes you stick around because it's actually a secret ingredient that you already have in your pantry. And the secret ingredient might be later in the video because you've opened a loop there, right? And the secret ingredient might be just a little bit of sugar. I know a little bit of sugar goes a long way, right? Kevin says, or Kelvin, hello, Mr. Flynn. Greetings from a Pokemon collector from the Netherlands. Wow, that's super cool. Thanks for coming in on the Pat Flynn channel. Hope to see you on the Deep Pocket Monster channel through too. The next video is actually going to be popping out later today, and I'm really excited about that. Okay, so Jillian says, could you run through the tiptoe for healing money anxiety for bosses? Yeah, let's do that next, Jillian. You've been pretty active in the channel here recently, so I'd love to do that for you. Okay, so objections, right? So you might think that you don't have a lot of time or that this is a little bit too hard of a recipe because lasagna is not just like spaghetti. There's some layers you got to put these things in, but don't worry because I'm going to share with you exactly step by step how to do this, right? So that's an example of a tease. Or an objection, right? Another example of an objection might be, you know, by the way, you may have cooked lasagna before and it was a complete mess, right? Well, don't worry because I got your back. We're going to actually do this in the most mess-free way possible. Right? So literally just, there's the objection. Nah, I'm here to tell you that that's not going to be the case here, right? So that's just an example. And then you go into the explanation, right? So here are the ingredients you need, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Cool. So where was Jillian's comment again? I want to go and find that. Jillian, could you run through the tiptoe strategy for healing money anxiety for bosses? So there's a lot to unpack here, right? So the way that I would connect a person to this title would be, have you ever felt blank and blank? Like, have you ever felt nervous or even scared about how you are managing your money with relation to your business? Well, if that's the case, guess what? You're not alone, because I felt the same thing too. In this video, I want to share with you and help you unpack exactly what's happening in your brain related to money and your business. Because if you don't do this, you can actually spend way more than you need to, or not spend enough. And the reason I say that is because you need to also invest in your business too. And unless you have good financial money mentality, then your business might end up going bankrupt. That's the big that's like the what if, right? The what if. That's what we don't want to happen, right? So the benefits can happen in two ways. The benefits can happen as either a here's the thing that you'll get, or here's the thing that would happen if you don't do this. That's also a benefit, because the benefit is you watch this video and that's not going to happen, right? So in this video, I'm going to teach you 3 things that you can do right now to change your money mindset when it comes to your business, so that you will have a lot more comfort in your finances, all without the crazy spreadsheets. You know, I'm just thinking out loud, but that's not, did you ever work for Apple? I did not work for Apple. No. Cool. Love it, says Jillian. Cool. So proof. Okay. Now I can go into really quick. I want to introduce you to Jimmy. He's one of my clients. Jimmy struggled with money. In fact, last year in 2020, he actually was under simply because he wasn't able to manage his finances. And this year he's very scared because he's worried that he's going to do the same thing and go bankrupt. And that way, and then he's not going to be able to support his family, or he's going to go and have to, actually, there we go. That's a big draw. You don't want to have to go get a 9-to-5. If you're your own boss, one of your worst nightmares is going and working a 9-to-5. There's nothing wrong with working a 9-to-5. I worked a 9-to-5. I absolutely loved it. In fact, I had my dream job. Very grateful I got let go, not because I hated it, but because it allowed me to open up to more opportunity that I didn't even know existed. But think about it from a boss's perspective. They don't ever want to work for anybody else. So drop that in there, right? So saying something like, make sure you stick around because, or this is really important, because ultimately, if you don't have a healthy money mindset for your own business, well, guess what? You're probably going to be working for somebody else in the future. Wow, right? That would be kind of crazy. That hits, right? That hits hard. I'm totally going to create a template from this. Cool. Yeah, tiptoe. Again, acronyms, they're so fun. The tiptoe strategy. So T's. So, you could say something like, like I said, 3 things that are going to help you, and make sure you stick around to the end, because I actually have a bonus template for you that you can actually have in front of you all the time. Or I have a special quote that I like to tell myself every day that really just changes my story in my head about finances. And I'll share that with you, plus a lot more here in this video. So I'm just kind of trying to find that one thing that a person's like, ooh, I want to know what that is. That's sort of the tease, right? Then objections for something like money mindset for bosses might be, that they might think that that's not their responsibility, that they just have to find an accountant to hold to do everything, right? So you might start with, before I get to these 3 strategies, I need to tell you a few things really quick. Number 1, you might think that finances should be held completely responsible by your CPA or your bookkeeper, but I'm here to tell you that's not true, because your bookkeeper and your CPA are just an extension of you and what's happening up here in your brain. Number 2, so again, I just took that objection and said, nope, that's not true. And I've already sort of teased this thing to get people to stick away all the way through, right? But again, when you can help people know that you know what they're thinking about, they're more likely to come to you for the solution. So I'm not going to go any further with that, but I hope that helps, Jillian, as far as giving you some examples and such on how we can sort of structure these intros really well. So what I want to do is actually I'm going to get off my seat here, because when I record these videos, this actually reminds me of a very funny story. When I record these videos, I stand up, right? And I'll put the camera a little bit higher when I do this, but I stand up and I want to be in the same sort of mindset and the same sort of structure and posture as when I'm recording these videos, because that I can get in the right mindset. Hang on, let me give you a little hug over there. What's up? How are you doing? Okay. So this video that we're talking about, if you came in late, we're running through this tiptoe strategy for how to start this video that I'm going to be filming later today. This video is going to be one that's going to be titled something like how to get a big guest on your show. And it's going to go over different strategies, which I haven't even really come up yet. I mean, I know them, we talked about them before, but I need to lay them down. But I just wanted to nail this intro part for you because many of you have great content. You know exactly how to help people, which happens here. But we need all this first, right? We need to earn the right to then share this stuff. And that comes with this structure that we just talked about, right? So I'm going to get off my soapbox. Well, I should maybe sometimes do that too, Ryan. Okay, so are we all clear so far? Hopefully this tiptoe strategy makes sense and it's clear and it helps you understand sort of the approach you can take with videos, especially pre-recorded videos and also live videos. I think it's important to, in live videos, to start off right away with this because people who watch later, and I'll tell you, most of the people who watch these videos watch later. If I don't hook them in the beginning and I just kind of welcome people into the room right at the start and kind of wait a few minutes before getting into it, well, they're not going to stick around and get all this great content, right? So again, let's write the title here. How to get a big, you guys like the iPad too? It's kind of cool. I kind of like it. On your show. Did that come off the edge there? It probably did. Okay, that's fine. Okay, how to get big guests on your show. Let's connect it, right, to the title. So there's a few ways I can do this. So I can start the video by saying, hey, wouldn't it be great if you could land your dream guest on your podcast or your YouTube channel? And the reason why I say podcast or YouTube channel is because I want to cast a little bit of a wider net, right? Your show could be a video show or a podcast, but I do want to get specific because number one, that'll help me connect to people if they have a podcast and connect to people if they have a video. It allows me to connect with both. And it also tells YouTube that this is for podcast and video channel or YouTube as well. And what happens is Google and YouTube will learn what I'm talking about based on machine learning and algorithms and AI. They're actually transcribing the words that I say. So it's really important that you, in the first 10 to 15 seconds, share and say what it is that this video is about, and with all these things that are happening, right? Super helpful. Cool. All right. So how to land big guests on your show. Title, connection. Again, connecting people from the moment they click and what they expect to something that can share with them that, yeah, they're in the right spot, right? So, hey, wouldn't it be great if you could easily land your favorite guest on your podcast or your YouTube channel? And I might even say something like, landing a big guest could be huge for your brand, your growth, and your authority, but it's not very easy to do. In fact, you might not even think this is possible. In this video, I'm going to tell you 5 specific strategies, step by step, to help you land that big guest. Now, I talked about the benefits first, and then I went into that, but again, it can kind of go either way. You kind of have to play around with it, see what feels natural and such, but I think that makes sense, right? So let me try that one more time. So for those of you who don't know how I record these videos, again, I'll do this later, but essentially I hit record, and then I just go through all the mistakes and everything. It's just a mess. But what I do is when I mess up, I'll either clap or click or do something like that, because when I'm editing or when my editor is editing, they can go to, if they see a whole series of like big waveforms in the audio, they'll know that that's where I made a whole bunch of mistakes, and they just go to the one after the last click in the little grouping, and they know that that's the best take. It just saves, honestly, hours of time having this clap strategy. So I always find that, like, now by habit, if I'm just filming, I just go, okay, so da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da, and I just clap, right? That again helps you when you're editing. It helps you find the last good take that you had because you won't clap after a good take, right? So that helps. So let's try this again. How to get a big guest on your show, starting with, hey, wouldn't it be awesome if you could land your favorite guest or a celebrity on your podcast or YouTube video? Cool. And then I stop there if that's a good take. I could probably try that 3 or 4 times. And then I move on to the next part. I'm not trying to get it all in one take either. That's another big thing about this, because if I try to get it all in one take, I'm gonna mess up a word here or there. I might have gone 70% of the way through, and then I go, oh, okay, and then I have to start over again, and then I'm getting frustrated, and then I put the thing down, and I go to try and take a break to see if I can come back, but then I get distracted, and then I'm just going down this rabbit hole, right? That's just my pithy way of saying that you just need to keep recording and keep going, right? Okay, yes, and you can use that click or clap strategy for your podcast if you wanted to do 3 claps just to make sure, because it's very random to see that in your waveforms. That could go a very long way too, right? Most of the video footage probably consists of clapping, right? I could just have a whole compilation video of me going, and then make like a beat. Yo, this is Pat. Joseph says, I'm late. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you're doing well too, Joseph. Thank you again for being here. So we're going over the tiptoe strategy on how to start a video. And I'm doing this with a new video that I'm going to be creating very soon that will likely be dropping probably next week, right? And again, title, thumbnail, we start with the connection. So I'm starting with a question, right? A person clicks to watch a video on how to land a big guest. They see, hey, wouldn't it be great if you could land a celebrity or a big guest or a big name in your industry on your podcast or YouTube video? There you go, right? In this video, I'm going to tell you 5, or it should be clear, right? Is it 5 strategies, or is it 3 tips, or having a specific number goes a very long way too, and that's how I'm going to structure this video, right? So I think it's going to be 3 based on what I remember from the last time we talked about this subject. So I'm just going to go right into it. In this video, I'm going to share a 3-step strategy, one that's really easy to follow so you can actually land these guests even if you are a small creator. So I added a little bit of an objection there. Let me try that again. In this video, I'm going to tell you a 3-step strategy. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a simple 3-step strategy so that you can land these guests like it's been your job. What? Okay. And again, this is something that always happens. I start well and then I fumble, just get back up and go again, right? And you got to get through these, you got to be a disaster before you become the master. You have to start messy, right? In this video, I'm going to tell you a 3 steps. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a 3-step strategy. So it will be very easy. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a 3-step strategy to easily land these guests, even if you are a small creator. Now, just imagine you land these big guests on your show. I think I would just go into, and when you land these big guests, you will have more authority. You will gain influence by association, and plus, you might even develop a relationship with these people too. Now, that's something that just came to mind, right? That is something that I'm like, oh, did I like that? Yeah, I'm going to add that in there, which is true. That's how I actually developed a relationship with Shalene Johnson and so on and so forth, right? Which I'll be talking about in the next section, in the proof, right? So again, one more time. GTOE, explain. Explain is just like, now get into the part of the video that people actually came for, right? Like you just, that's go. You explain it, you reveal it, you tell the steps, etc., right? You could call this whole strategy tiptoe through your 2 lips. Through your 2 lips. 2 lips. I get it. You have to start messy, indeed. Okay, so let's try the in this video again. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a 3-step strategy, step by step, so that you don't get lost as you make your way to find these celebrities and guests on your show. So that was not as good as the other one, right? So again, you just kind of you do that. I'm being messy on purpose, but I'm actually trying here and being messy in front of you. So hopefully you don't feel as weird doing this on your own. I'm doing this live in front of everybody, so you have no excuse to not do this on your own, right? Okay, let's move on to proof. Using these strategies, I have gotten people like Gary Vaynerchuk, Tim Ferriss, Matt D'Avella, and Chalene Johnson on my podcast. And since then, we've actually all become friends, which is really cool. So during those parts, I've actually have this written down so I can just remember it. Again, bullet points are fine. If you wanted to script out the intro alone just to kind of nail it, you can do that too, right? But that's my proof part, right? So I'm not just saying, hey guys, here's how you can land big guests, because people might be like, yeah, I want to land big guests, but why should I listen to you? Well, I've been able to land big guests like Gary Vaynerchuk, Tim Ferriss, Matt D'Avella, MKBHD, and Chalene Johnson. Always make sure that you try to be inclusive as well. So I have male, female, all different colors. That I think is really important too, something we often don't think about, because I think that's really important. So that's up to you to decide, but try to have the whole gamut. If you are somebody in the financial industry, for example, it might be important to pick different kinds of financial people. Maybe you have like an investor-centric person, and then you have another one who's more of a personal finance blogger, and you can have all different kinds of types as well. So that way you kind of just span across, I would love to have people like Gary Vaynerchuk. Oh, I'm not a big fan of Gary, but now I've mentioned somebody else that they are a fan of, like MKBHD, for example, right? So that's just something to mention. If you are going to be using other people or other things as example for proof, try to cast, again, a wide net there, right? So that's my proof during that time. And again, I'll make a note in the sort of script, or I might even say this. This is often what works really, really well. I'll tell my editor, Tim, I'll be like, all right, Tim, I'm going to talk about a few examples of people who I have actually interviewed before, and I have them on video. So if you could pop in B-roll or find some old YouTube videos that I have where I interviewed Gary or Tim Ferriss, or even find my podcast to show the title of those, like however you want to do it, just put it in there to show those things as I'm talking about these people, right? So then again, I say that, the editor knows, they hear it as I'm talking. They're not going to put that in the video. That's just kind of a message for the editor while there, right? And then let's go into tease. I might say something like, I might say something like, so I'll share with you everything from how to get a person's attention to who the decision makers are behind those celebrities, all without being annoying. So that's, again, addressing a little bit of an objection, because people are going, I don't want to be annoying, but so I drop that in there. But I mentioned just high level the kinds of things we're going to talk about. I don't talk about them fully yet. That's coming. But I just talk about them up front real quick. So I'm going to show you things like how to figure out who should be on your show, how to actually get in contact with them, and how to do it all without being annoying. And I might zoom in here. I might even tell my camera guy, okay, zoom in on this because I want to talk to everybody, especially the small creators. So we'll zoom in, right? Might not do the surprise, but I just wanted to, get you guys to wake up if you're not awake. So I might zoom in during this part, and I might go, and by the way, if you happen to be a small creator and you truly believe you can't do this, that is not true. Because these strategies work because it doesn't come from a place of you just having a big audience and that being the thing that attracts people. It's actually something more. So stick around. So there you go. Let's get started. Or I might get to the point where I go, I might introduce myself at this point, right? Because I've earned the right to introduce myself. I'm going to do that for just 10 seconds. By the way, my name is Pat Flynn. If you need help with entrepreneurship, whether you have a podcast, a blog, or a YouTube channel, I'm here to help you. And again, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss this and other videos like it. So let's get right into the tips, right? So at this point is when I would sort of start talking about myself. So yay, we got 100 likes. Thanks so much, everybody. And I'm glad to see over 200 people in the room watching this right now, because we're talking about the tiptoe strategy. And I just went over that with this upcoming video that I'm about to actually come out with, right? And if you can nail this intro, if you can get really honed in on the tiptoe strategy to start your videos, the rest of the video, you can have a little bit more of a relaxed feel. You can actually know that more people are going to be sticking around at this point, right? Can you use a curse word instead of a clap to signal editing? I mean, you could, but you risk the editor missing one. And although I could imagine like you just loudly swearing because you mess up, and then that becomes the signal for your editor. Cool. So what questions might you have about this? We have about 9 more minutes remaining. I'm going to go over this really quick because I see more and more people coming in. But let's talk about this. Again, remember, people are clicking on your video because they're seeing just the thumbnail and title. How do we connect these people immediately to the fact that they've landed in the right spot, right? In this video that I'm doing about how to get a big guest on your show, I'm starting out by saying, wouldn't it be great if you could land your dream guest on your podcast? Or if you could bring some of your top industry leaders on your show to grow your authority and start to build a relationship with them. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you a 3-step strategy that's super easy to implement, even if you're a small creator, that will help you land guests on your podcast or your YouTube channel. You know, that's okay. I mean, that's basically, there you go. So that's number 2. In this video, you just want to be straight up. Watch any Mr. Beast video. In this video, I bought 4 million Christmas lights, and my friends are going to compete to put their lights on their houses, and I'm going to be giving away the house to the best decorated house. Or the people who decorated the best, right? Or what was this other video? In this video, I spent 24 hours in a house made of ice. It's like, okay, well, there you go, right? Image quality in your video is great today. Thank you. I appreciate that. So 3, proof. This is where we go, okay, I've just told you all the things that we're going to talk about and why that's important. But let me tell you why it's important to learn from me. Or let me show you how this is actually real. Let me show proof that I'm the person that you should be speaking to, right? So this is often a point where you can include, you know, hey, my name is Pat. Like if I'm teaching people how to get on stages, I might say, hey, my name is Pat Flynn. I started speaking on stages in 2011. Since then, I've been on hundreds of stages and in front of thousands of people, and I can show B-roll of me on those stages. In this video here about how to land big guests, I'm going to show examples of moments when me and MKBHD were talking when he was on my show, or Matt Diavella and I talking, or me and Shalene Johnson and I talking, right? And this just, again, showing proof that I am somebody who's done this before too, and now I'm passing on this information, right? Number 4, teasing, just a few other things. For example, I'm going to teach you everything from how to get the attention of a guest, how would I say? So the tease might be something like, I'll be going over everything from how to get a person's attention, to knowing exactly what to say, to understanding how to follow up and follow through, all without being super annoying. And then the final thing is crushing the super big or main objection up front, and then I can go and explain the rest of the video, right? So the objection in this case is going to be probably along the lines of, I need to get the black marker there. The objection might be, and by the way, if you don't think this is possible, well, guess what? It's not going to work, but it is possible. This works even if you're a small creator, because this isn't about the size of your audience. It's about the value that you can provide for these people, in all those kinds of things, right? So I think that's really important to understand. So there you go. So Kit says, can't wait to watch the real video later. Sounds like the idea you have of serving first, providing value first. This is really informative. Yes, exactly. Fit over50 says, do you fully script out the intro and post by the camera lens and practice the part several times using just bullets for the body? Yeah, that's exactly true. In my script, I might have, you know, tell this story or make this point, and I kind of reorder things so it's in the right order. I think it's also really important to realize, and let me just turn this part off here so we can go full screen now. I think it's important to remember, like, what is the purpose of this video? What's the transformation that people are going to have, right? So in this case, how to land a big guest or get a big guest on your show. The transformation is, number 1, I want people to walk away with the belief that they can do this. Number 2, I want them to realize that this isn't as hard as it may seem, and to have all the steps in front of them to do it, right? And ultimately, they're going to be able to connect with people who they didn't even think possible. That's ultimately what this video will do for people. So now I have to create this, because now if I've understood that transformation, I now know that if I just either get too scared or camera frightened, or I'm just putting this aside and procrastinating, well, I'm actually stopping others from being able to transform in that way. And as we all know, when we help others transform, we often get a lot back in return. And not just talking about money. I'm talking about recognition. I'm talking about being shared. I'm talking about support. I'm talking about fans, right? Mega shout out, everyone. What's up, JMC? Thank you for being here. Cool. So, wow. Great episode today. We went really deep into the details of just probably the first 30 seconds to minute of a video. But this is how important that is. That plus the title and the thumbnail, all those things working in concert with each other will mean that more people are going to watch more of your videos. And if that happens, your retention rates get higher. You want to aim for at least 50% retention rate on your videos if possible, and then have people watch more videos after that. YouTube will support you if you're supporting them, because YouTube wants people to stick around on YouTube as much as possible. And if you're helping people watch more videos, if you're helping people stick around longer on YouTube, they're going to reward you for that. That's really all it comes down to, right? Thanks for another highly applicable structure to run our video production through. You're welcome. I'm going to put out a video on how people can land Chef Kibbe on their show. It's easier than you might think. I do have the chickpeas tortilla, though. Okay, we're talking about food. Shonda making us all hungry here. Cool. And thanks to all the new viewers in today. I appreciate you. If you haven't yet done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon to make sure you don't miss other videos like this. Tomorrow, since it's Friday, we are going to be doing our fun little games and prizes and giveaways. We have some fun stuff that's going to happen. And I do owe you a watch your mouth. I do owe you a watch your mouth. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, every week I have a secret word that the audience picks for me that I have to include into every stream. This week, we got it in most of the days, but we missed it yesterday, I believe. Or did we? Yeah, we missed it yesterday. So I owe you a game of Watch Your Mouth, which is very embarrassing, but that's my punishment. And then we're going to pick a new word tomorrow, and we're going to give away some prizes again. So make sure to come around tomorrow. Yes, Friday is already here tomorrow, which is kind of insane. And tomorrow we're going to be starting at... Let's see, we're going to be starting at... 9:30, in fact. We're going to be starting at 9:30. So at the half-hour mark, which is going to be interesting. But at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So make sure you come back for that, and that'll be a lot of fun. Cool. That was really awesome. Thanks, Pat. We'll definitely watch the replay and can't wait to see the edited version. Yeah, you'll see it. Evelyn! Oh my gosh, Evelyn, how are you? Hope all is well. Mature Man, 7 a.m. Pacific. No, tomorrow is going to be, again, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Evelyn says, I think so. So the question is this, can we have it done by next week? So that is for what? Is that for me? I mean, I'm going to hopefully have this video done and ready to at least be edited by the end of this week. And then we'll see how much the turnaround time is, but it should be coming out next week, if possible. Or perhaps even February 1st or the first Monday in February. But anyway, we'll see. Thank you so much for today. I appreciate you, everybody. And we ended just on time. So, hey, hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Thank you again for the support. A wonderful crowd of over 200 people in today. Great job. Thank you, and keep up the good work. What's up, JMC? Good to see you here. Mohammed says, I am Carter. And Jillian, Asma, Bernard, Mature Man, Mai, K-Walk. Big shout out. Again, thank you to the moderators holding it down in the house. And yeah, take care. I appreciate you. All the best. Team Flynn for the win.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream. All while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
All right. Conquered the day. This day is yours. You get to make it whatever you want it to be. And I know it's going to be a great one. So blessings and all the good vibes headed your way. And really excited to see how many of you implement the tiptoe strategy for you. And I'm looking forward to editing my video too. So we're in this together. I'll see y'all later. Thanks so much. See you tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Peace out, everybody.